Welcome to Doctrine and Devotion, the podcast that explores Christian faith and practice from a Reformed Baptist perspective. My name is Joe Thorne. I am the lead pastor of Redeemer Fellowship in St. Charles, Illinois.
And I'm Jimmy Fowler, executive pastor at Redeemer Fellowship.
So good weekend so far?
Yeah.
Sad. We're recording on a Saturday morning.
I leave tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. You're leaving. You're going to hang out with your celebrity friends.
Just gonna go hang out.
Yeah, with your celebrity friends.
Gonna go fishing.
Yeah, no, it must be nice.
It is gonna be nice. I'm really looking forward to it.
Nobody ever invites me fishing.
Because you're the worst.
What do you mean I'm the worst?
You are the worst.
My dad was a super skilled fisherman.
What's that got to do with you?
Everything. It's in my blood.
You hate outdoors.
I hate fishing.
You hate everything.
I don't want to. Yeah, no. That's not my thing.
No, you hate everything. And
I don't hate everything.
Yeah, you do.
I hate most things.
Listen, here's the thing. There's things that I really enjoy, and this is one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't need you ruining it.
I'm not ruining it.
No, I don't. By going, you might.
No, yeah. No, hang on. I was looking for some sort of a receptacle that could hold the ashes of my tobacco. There we go. We are all good. So, yeah, you're leaving. You're going out of town. What time do you leave tomorrow?
11 a.m. flight.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
And you're coming back like midweek, though, I think, right?
Oh, yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah.
No, it's just a quick in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. That'll be a nice little getaway.
It'll be a nice getaway.
Yeah, just chill, fish, hang out with your buds.
Yeah. No. We're pumped. Yeah. I know Izzy's pumped. It was his birthday yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So Friday. And yeah, he's excited. He's excited to go.
Now, are you going to take some pictures and show me hey? Oh, yeah, I asked you about it. You're going to do that. You're going to send me a picture.
Yeah, I'm going to post some photos.
No. Posting's for everybody. I want my own special private viewing. I want you got to send me hey, here's me and Clay, and Izzy here. Oh, take it out. Hey, man, shirts off, guns out, whatever. Do some cool stuff,
All right.
Because that would make me feel good.
Like you'll feel part of it.
Yeah.
You'll feel part of it without having to go through the rigor of fishing.
Yeah.
We're going tarpon fishing.
It's just, oh man. If I could just go and sit on the boat in the shade, I'd be fine.
I don't understand.
It's the whole fishing thing. I don't know, and it seems like it feels rather predatory, towards the fish. I don't like that. It seems a little.
You feel like you're an oppressor.
Yeah, it's just taking advantage of them. They're just chilling, and then you're lying to them here's some food. Can I feed you? And then they're like, oh, thank you, man. I'm really hungry. And then you're like, gotcha. Yeah, seems kind of cruel. Hey, Jimmy, what are we doing today?
Well, we're going to go through two questions of the Baptist Catechism, question 46 and 47.
49. Oh,
yeah, 46 and 49.
Oh, they go together.
Yeah, we're going to 46, 47. Cool. So, question 46 starts off. Where is the moral law summarily comprehended?
Or summarily.
Summarily comprehended. The moral law is summarily comprehended in the Ten Commandments.
No duh. Now, it's interesting because we've already talked about the moral law, right? Being the unchanging, standard that reflects God's character, stems from his very nature. It is always true. It is always applicable. And we talked about that a little bit last week, and now we are here, and it's very specific. Where is it summarily comprehended? We see it in the Ten Commandments. And one of the things that people wrestle with is okay, well, if these laws are always true and have always been true, then were they in place before the law was given at Sinai? Were these things still right and or still wrong before the Mosaic covenant?
Were they still right or still wrong?
Mm-hmm. They hadn't been given yet.
Yeah, but they're still...
Wow. I'm asking.
Yeah, people knew not to kill.
Did they?
Well... Okay, fair point. I hated him. I know where you're going.
But he did know.
But he did know it was
a bad thing.
It's a bad thing.
I should not be doing this.
Yeah, don't do this thing I'm about to do.
It's a dumb thing.
Yeah,
I'm being a big selfish.
So yeah, people, even though it wasn't out there yet, it was known. This is that moral law that was written on people's hearts. They understood. Do not murder, do not steal.
Yeah, but then there are people out there that go, oh yeah, all 10. All 10 were moral law, and they all had it on their hearts before God gave it. What about the fourth? What about the Sabbath?
Oh, because the Sabbath.
How would they have known to do that if God hadn't told them? So obviously,
because God modeled for them.
Yeah, but they weren't paying attention, and they didn't. Don't bring that up. And then they probably forgot anyways. But you're right. Yes. No, God modeled it. It had been passed down. And in fact, we see Israel keeping the Sabbath, talking about the Sabbath before the law was given. And they're in the wilderness before they get to Sinai. They're observing the Sabbath.
Yeah.
Manna. When can't you do it? Don't be getting it on the Sabbath.
No,
you're going to get the smackdown. So all of these things were given to humanity, but even before the fall, by them being imprinted on the heart and the conscience. And of course, to varying degrees, this has been marked, or disrupted through sin. But these have been perpetually binding. Now, in the Ten Commandments, we see them in the context of the Mosaic covenant, right? It's given to Israel as a theocracy, but what sets them apart from the rest of the law, because they were sort of recorded differently, right? Like the laws, all the 600 and some odd laws, they were written down, but the 10, Moses didn't write those down.
Well, no, Deuteronomy 10:4, right? He wrote on the tablets of the same writing as before, the 10 commandments the Lord had spoken to you on the mountain. Well, sorry, wrong verse, but previously it talked about it was by the finger of God.
Yeah.
The finger of God itself,
right,
or himself, laid it out.
In stone.
Yeah.
I remember I was, when I was in seminary, I was arguing with some guy about the Ten Commandments and whether or not they're perpetually binding. And of course, Jimmy and I think that they are, but we, of course, you got to nuance things and explain how. But yeah, we'd say all 10 perpetually binding. And I had some people pushing back on me. So just out of curiosity, I started looking into biblical scholars at various seminaries across the states. And I wanted to ask them, what is the significance of the Ten Commandments being inscribed by the finger of God in stone? That's all. The only question I had. Just a very simple answer. And I emailed lots of guys. And
just so you know, this is the way Joe is. If Joe really wants to stick it to you, he won't stop. He won't stop. He can't let things go. Continue.
Okay. If you want, I'll tell you the Ed Stetzer story one time.
Yeah, I would like to hear that.
So I emailed all these guys, and these are well-known big names. Like these are the scholars that Bible nerds know. They write commentaries, and they all said they were written in stone by the finger of God to represent their permanence. They are everlasting. They're always in effect. And they said it in different ways. Just thought that was interesting. Because
you won the argument.
I won the argument before I asked. I just wanted them to know that I won the argument. I wanted my opponent to know that you got to do something with that, right? That actually does mean something.
No, absolutely. Yeah, because it makes an impact on how you view it and how you the importance of it in your life now, right? Because for some people, there's that view that the law is no longer important by any means. Yeah. But even though Christ has paid the penalty for our disobedience to the law, and he himself has fulfilled the law perfectly, we're still called to perpetually obey that.
Yeah, keep that law.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good thing to say. Like it's practical that it's in stone. It's forever law. So because I think what you're alluding to are those people that would say like, hey man, the law led us to Jesus, now we're done with it.
Exactly.
It was, like the training wheels that taught me how to ride the bike or something. I don't know what the gospel bike. They're like, well, no, it's a big part. It's a part of the bike. It's a part of our Christian faith, and we are supposed to keep it. This is why Paul says the law is holy, just, and good. Right? The law is, what does he say? Romans 7:12. So the law is holy, and the commandment is holy and righteous and good. And he's really clear about this. The problem with the problem with me is not the law, it's our sin. The law is good. It's our sin that messes us up and puts us at odds with the law. So I like that. I like that you point out that it's practical. It's in stone to remind us this is not going to fade away. The other laws, like civil law, ceremonial law, fulfilled, but this law fulfilled but forever in effect.
Yeah, love it.
So what about this this follow-up? Why are we looking at the next question?
Well, here we go. Hold on. 47. Shall I read this?
Well, they can't read it. You know what I mean? They
You know,
can't
dude,
just-
like
you
I'm
just
trying
go
to have
ahead.
a conversation with you.
Yeah.
And you're just.
You know why?
I just,
you know why?
I just need.
Because you got the T-shirt from Dave DeHaan.
Well, they don't know about that yet. That's
Yeah, I know.
Thursday's
I know.
episode.
Yeah, we had a guest on, and he brought Jimmy a T-shirt. Didn't bring me one.
So, question 47.
That is 47.
What is the sum of the 10 commandments? The sum of the 10 commandments is to love the Lord our God with all our heart, with all our soul, with all our strength, with all our mind, and our neighbors as ourselves.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it because it puts the commandments in the context of affection. So it's not just like
blind obedience.
Yeah, blind obedience, like an officer barking orders, or a parent like just tell you do it because it's got to get done. It's like, well, that's not very motivating. there's you know what I mean?
Yeah, and Joe's privilege, he gets to ignore those cops. Good, continue.
Oh, I don't ignore them. They ignore my infractions. No, I receive them gladly with all the police officers. Did I tell you Jen got pulled over again?
Again?
Yep. She took a picture, sent it to me. Again.
So
Do
what
you want to guess why?
Tail light. I don't know.
No blinker. Why did she get pulled over?
She's pretty?
Yeah. No, for speeding.
Oh, she was actually speeding?
She's always speeding.
Oh, I don't know if she's always.
She's always speeding.
All right. I know. I don't.
And so I was like, last time she got a ticket, I was like, how come they're giving you a ticket? Why didn't they just let you go? She's like, no, because I was doing 20 over. I'm like, girl. And they probably rounded down for you to be nice. Okay, so this time she got pulled over. She sent me a picture. I'm like, what? You can never say another thing about me messing up about in it, because like you always get pulled over. But this time they gave her a warning. Lady cop showed her some mercy. All right, no. So when you look at the 10 Commandments, I think that there is a temptation for some of us, especially people that tend to be a bit more rebellious and selfish and proud. You don't like people telling us what to do. You want to do your own thing. And then law just seems so like arbitrary and outside of us. But when you start reading the way that God talks about his commands, and when he summarizes it for us, whether that's through Christ or the prophets, he says, no, listen, the law is all about love. You're called to love me,
Yep.
and you're called to love others. It really is about love, which doesn't make it sentimental and mushy. It makes it rich and beautiful and even like, wow, desirable. Because I think it's easier for us to tap into the need to love people than it is the need to obey. The need to love seems like an easier access point. Like, yes, I desire love. I'm made to love. I want to love somebody. Love seems good. Obedience seems alien and hostile. But for God, and Jesus says something, if you love me, you're going to do what I say. They go together. So I like it as sort of like an easier connection point.
Yeah, I think some people think. I think I agree. I think on the flip side, I do think there's people that want to avoid the love and think that they're obeying perfectly. Like they deceive themselves into thinking like I'm
Pharisees.
Okay, yeah, there you go, Pharisees. Yeah. Into thinking like, no, I'm obeying pretty well. I don't need to go, like, and maybe they won't say I don't need to go, but functionally, like they desire not to be there.
Yeah, they believe that they don't need to go, even if they're not going to say it. It's that we talked about it last week, right? It's the whole thing about loving mercy, not just doing it, right? It's like, yeah, I think you're right that there's probably two ends of the spectrum, right, when it comes to obedience and love. Some people focus on external obedience and they leave off love, like the Pharisees. Like, well, I'm giving to the church. That's how I support those who are in need. I don't actually need to open my home. I
don't need to be hospitable.
Yeah.
I don't need to meet with people. I don't need to be part of a CG or community group or Bible study group or any of those things. I don't need to be involved in the life of the church and the life of individuals.
I've put in my time in the past, so now I'm done now. Like, whatever it is, right? So, but then on the other hand, there are people that are like big on love, but they misunderstand it as if love can be demonstrated without obedience. Because you're not loving your neighbor if you're not obeying God's commands on how to take care of them. You're not loving God if you're not obeying him with respect to his person. So it's probably the lovey-dovey types that are a little loose with the law, and then there are people that are like more law-oriented, but they're a little loose.
They're loose on the love.
Yeah.
And not like, like loose and like freewheeling. Like they just don't.
No, they're not liberal.
They're not liberal.
No, they're miserly. they are not loose is not the right word. But they're not as interested in and exhibiting it. So, the 10 Commandments, the sum of them being love. We see this in a few different places in Scripture, right? When Jesus is asked, what's the greatest commandment, right? And he says, well, the greatest commandment is to love the Lord and to love your neighbor, just as it's explained here. Why do you think love is a fulfillment of, how is it that love is a fulfillment of the law? Because I think some people want to take that and be like, okay, so it really doesn't matter what you do as long as you have good intentions, but that's not what it means. So,
no, because like one can be outwardly obedient, right? But not inwardly affectionate. I think it's the affection part that God's after, right? God is after, because where our heart goes, I think where our heart goes, our hands go.
Yep.
Right. And so as you like that?
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I think that's what he's wants to be drawn out of, right? This love rather than sacrifice.
Yeah.
Because that exhibits the heart of God for others, for sinners and saints, right? So yeah, I because it'd be cold. I think that's pretty much it. Like a cold, distant.
Yeah, God's not creating employees.
Yeah,
right.
That's
and even some employees have a really affectionate relationship with their employers, but in general, it's not. It's not family. It's business.
It definitely depends on who it is, right? Like, I mean, like for us as a family business, we very much value getting to know and being part of our employees' lives.
And you actively, and I know because I see and hear, you actively take care of your employees. Like you treat them like family. So obviously,
because a lot of them,
they are.
Well, yeah, because but not even that. But like for a number of them, they've been, with us, since the beginning, right?
Right.
I mean, I know, like our maintenance guy, our maintenance supervisor. I mean, I've known Tony since I was 16, 17.
Longer than you've known your wife.
Longer than I've known my wife.
You really have probably a more profound and deeper relationship with Tony than you do with your wife.
Well, I mean, I feel like our texting back and forth at 2 a.m. really, really kind of solidified that.
Because he's always there for you.
Yeah.
And he doesn't complain, does he?
Not once.
Not once.
Never once.
No. Does he ever like roll his eyes when you
no,
leave
your
shoes a little too far close to the door or something?
No, he does not. But we value it. So it is foreign to me, but I've been in those situations, even at churches.
At churches, I'm thinking like, I know you've been in church situations
where it feels like, okay, it's just an employee and a number, and this is like a small church, and it ain't even like one of those big mega churches where because organizationally, structurally, like there is a sense of separation and distance, right?
Can't help it,
and you can't help it. But in a small church, it's like I feel like I'm just a number.
Yeah,
it
doesn't help when they actually call you by your number at that church, because I know, like,
333-4687.
Yeah, which was ironic because there were only 3 people on staff there, but they still had very large numbers for each one of them.
Exactly,
to further dehumanize you.
333-4687. I'll remember it.
So the whole idea with love is that to sort of maybe make it a bit more complicated for people. But to love God is itself law, right? Love is a fulfillment of the law, but to love God is itself law. Like we're commanded to love God. We're commanded to love each other. It's our duty. It's our responsibility to love God. Joshua 23:11. Take good heed to yourselves that you love the Lord your God. And we love him because he is lovely. We love him. He loves us in spite of our ugliness, which makes it amazing. But we're not worthy of, but he is worthy of our love.
Yeah, and we love because he first loved us. I mean, even trying to think here, like Proverbs 8:17. I love them that love me, right? And so we're called to love him, and it's reciprocated back.
There's actually the whole. We need to do an episode on this. Maybe we get David Murray on to talk about it.
Oh yeah,
because there are some really interesting nuances to God's love for his people that vary. And most generally, I think people can say like, okay, the God has a general benevolent love for all human beings, but then he has a particular love for his people, right? So we can differentiate it like that.
Yeah.
But even then, like the way that the Bible talks about love is a little more complicated than a lot of people want to think, or at least admit. But I think we can say this, that when we're looking at the law of God and his commands for us, we need to recognize that like his commands are perpetually binding.
Yes.
But when you say perpetually binding, it sounds like shackles. right? Because that's how I've always worded it, because that's the old wording, perpetually binding. But they are forever relevant, forever required of us. They are always in effect, but I think when you understand that it really does come down to whether or not we love the God who made us and gave us this law and love the people that he made in his image, it softens me up. I just know that when I have to do something for the family, it's like, okay, so the other day, I walk in.
Okay.
All right. Jen's gone. She's at jujitsu.
Okay.
She's not
again.
Home. Yeah, again. All the time. But that's great. We love that she's doing that. All right. So I get home. I walk in. One of my kids, Bonger, he is at the table playing a game on the computer because his schoolwork's done. Eli is in the back room watching a show or playing a game or something, right? Or he's on his phone. Madeline's upstairs. Catherine's at work. 2 dogs are in the house. I walk in, and what do I see right in the middle of the foyer when I walk in? What do you think I see there?
You just talked about 2 dogs.
Yeah.
I'm going to say a present.
Yes, a nice 98-degree steaming pile present. So I walk in, and I see that, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me, guys. Aren't you keeping an eye on these dogs, taking them out? Like, what's going on? But, all right. So I go and I'm like, I got to clean this up, right? And that's one of the worst things I hate doing it. It's so gross. So I got this disinfectant, this whole thing. So I'm walking to get the gear to clean it up. And I walk in and I look to my left and our new couch. Oh no. Oh yeah. It looks like somebody put an IED underneath it and set it off because it's just torn apart and there's foam everywhere.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
like Raven went to town on that couch.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, all right. Here's what I have to do is I gotta clean up this mess and not lose my cool. So what? Okay, I allowed myself to lose my cool a little bit.
I'm about to say,
I lost my cool a little bit, but then I reined it in, cleaned everything up. But whether it's a surprise situation like that or it's the like, oh wow, I have to, like, whatever it is, like whether you gotta, whatever the daily work is that you have to do. When I think about things that I have to do, the job itself doesn't motivate me. The duty doesn't motivate me. It's love that motivates me.
So wait, it wasn't the duty that motivated you to pick up the duty?
Exactly. As soon as I saw the glint in your eyes, you're so happy right now. Duty did not move me to clean up the duty.
Mm-hmm.
But love
motivated you to move.
Well, it's like, and you don't always think about it that way. And maybe you're not. Maybe you're being motivated by something else. But love is the thing that actually will motivate me to do something without regret, without resistance. It's like, you know what? I want to bless. I want to take care of. Like, I don't like doing things.
Yeah.
But I love my wife.
Yeah.
And I like the idea that she's going to come home and not see this.
Yes.
She's going to walk in and be like, okay.
And not have to deal with that.
It doesn't even have to register. And so like now what I'm struggling with is like, do I send her a picture of what I just walked in on? to let her know?
Let her know what I did.
Is it more important? No, for real. Is it more important for me to clean it up, but I want her to know that I cleaned it up? Or is it more important that it's not even on her radar?
It's more important it's not even on her radar.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But that doesn't come natural to me.
No.
I want the props.
Yeah.
I want the props. I want the points.
Yeah.
But that's not love.
And the rewards.
I do. So I'm learning. Like the more you understand love for God, love for others, the more I think motivated we are to actually delight in the law, especially once you know you've been forgiven. Because, the law does condemn you. It cannot save you, but in Christ you are saved, and the law no longer condemns, so it just guides you.
Well, we'd love to hear your thoughts. You can follow us online on Instagram and Twitter @DocandDevo or on Facebook /Doctrine and Devotion. You can head to the website, doctrinedevotion.com. There you can contact us. You can sign up for the email blast or hit the store, jofostore.com, and grab some gear. We got fresh pod every Monday and Thursday, blog post on Wednesdays. We got some video content over at the website.
Oh, we got some plans for some more video content.
Oh, yes.
We're big on plans.
Big on plans.
Yeah.
Not execution.
No.
But we've also got that all access exclusive content. Banter of Truth on Tuesdays, Weekday Wisdom Monday through Friday. Head on over at doctrinedevotion.com/all access. Later.